Have a nice day. Today is Tuesday, 4th of June 2024. Every year, this day is celebrated as International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression. So, starting the newspaper, unless with the newspaper, the Hindu states that Israel declares four more hostages are there in Gaza, including three older men who appeared in the video. A demonstrator poses as the Statue of Liberty as supporters and the families of hostages who were kidnapped during the deadly October 7 attack by Palestinian Islamist group Hamas rally demanding the release of the hostages as a part of the deal being advanced by United States President Joe Biden outside the United States consulate in the Tel Aviv, Israel on June 3rd, 2024. The Israeli military has confirmed the deaths of four more hostages held by Hamas, including three older adults seen in a Hamas video pleading for their release. Four more hostages kidnapped on October 7 were declared dead by the Israeli military, including the three older adults seen in a Hamas video begging to be released. The announcement on June 3rd heightens pressure on the Israeli government to agree to a United States ceasefire proposal that could secure the return of hostages still held in the Gaza and the 8 months war. About 80 hostages in Gaza are believed to be alive alongside the remains of 43 others in the day since the Biden administration announced the ceasefire proposal on June 31st. Israel has seen some of its largest protests calling on the government to bring them home. Israeli leadership has appeared to brush aside the President Joe Biden's proposal, vowing to keep conducting military operations against the Hamas until the militant group is destroyed. The Hindu newspaper also states that election results 2024 Congress's Bhupesh Baghel alleges mismatch in EVMs. Kharge appeals for discharge of duty. Bhupesh Baghel. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge wrote an open letter to the bureaucracy and urged it to adhere to the constitution and serve the nation without fear, favor, and ill will against anybody. Hours before counting of votes for the 2024 Lok Sabha election, former Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel, who is contesting from the Rajendra seat, alleged a mismatch in the details of the electronic voting machines provided in the Election Commission of India's randomization report and in the Form 17C after polling in his constituency got over. Going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that today mandate with destiny. Roughly 642 million votes cast at over 1.05 million polling booths over the past 6 weeks for the next Lok Sabha will be counted beginning 8 a.m. on Tuesday. That's today, bringing the curtain down on the world's largest democratic exercise that saw the record-busting numbers of people braving sharing temperatures to cast their franchise. Entire counting process is absolutely robust. We don't think anywhere there is a robust system like it. Every part is decided. The whole process is codified. Micro observers are in place. There cannot be any mistake in this process, Kumar said. Observers are present during the world's largest counting exercise before the elections. EVMs were randomized. All candidates and agents were present to observe that who were present at the booth, he added. Hindustan Times also states that entire Dhurav fleet is set to get a key safety upgrade by the end of the month. Dhurav fleet, flagged by nagging design issue, was grounded several times last year after the accident called into question its flight safety record. A critical safety upgrade on the military's advanced light helicopter Dhurav fleet, initiated by the state-run plane maker Hindustan Aeronautics Limited (HAL) after a string of accidents last year, is nearing completion, and the upgraded control system installed on the locally made choppers will improve their airworthiness, officials aware of the matter said on Monday. Hindustan Times also states that Robert Ups over Chhattisgarh police arrest of 25-year-old tribal activist. New Delhi Sunita Potham left and her friend during the Delhi visit in the January 2018 to approach the Supreme Court to seek transfer of her case. Raipur, a controversy erupted in the Chhattisgarh on Monday after the state police arrested a 25-year-old woman who advocated for the rights of the tribal, provoking howls of protests from the human rights group that accused the police of framing her in fake cases to silence her. Bastar Range Inspector General of Police IGP Sundar Raj P said Sunita Potham was wanted in 12 cases linked to Maoist activities and was arrested from Raipur. Sunita Potham, 25, was held by the team of Bijapur police from Raipur, where she was living under an assumed name and identity. She is a resident of the Korchili village under the Gangalore police station area of Jaipur and is key operator of the most urban network and front organization. At least 12 warrants are pending against Bhutam in 3 different police stations in Jaipur for offense related to murder, attempt to murder, loot, provocative speech and causing damage to government property, Sundarraj said. Mr. Ramos also states that crime and influence, the family at the center of the Pune Porsche crash. A rich drunk teenager running his Porsche or 2 people in dead of night would be a glitch in fiction. In the real life, the events on May 19th in Pune that resulted in the deaths of the 2 young teachers, Ashwani Koshta and Anish Avadia, reveal a much darker tale of entitlement and institutional subversion. Himachal, 3 independent MLAs' resignations accepted. Himachal Pradesh Assembly Speaker Kuldeep Singh Patania on Monday accepted the resignation of 3 independent MLAs who, along with the 6 Tribal Congress legislators, voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party candidate in the Rajya Sabha polls held in February. The 3 independent MLAs with the Speaker Kuldeep Singh Patania on March 22. Going towards the economy of the country from the business point of view, markets and elections are bulls are banking on stability. A review of the stock market's performance on the next day of exit poll outcome during the last 4 general elections shows that this trend is not new. Rupees 2000 banknotes 97.82% returned. Rupees 7,755 crore worth of notes still with public. From the October 9, 2023, Reserve Bank of India issued offices are also accepting Rupees 2000 banknotes from the individuals and entities for deposit into their bank accounts. The facility for exchange of Rupees 2000 banknotes is available at the 19 issue offices of the Reserve Bank of India. From the banking and finance point of view, 6 PSU banks issued 1,071 lookout circulars against the defaulters in the last 5 years. The State Bank of India, the largest commercial bank in the country, said as many as 583 LOCs were issued by the bank. After SBI's Union Bank of India, Punjab National Bank and Indian Overseas Bank are issued to 60, 131 and 42 LOCs respectively. Bank of India also issued 42 LOCs and Central Bank of India 13 circulars. Control the world news including no date set for Netanyahu's address to United States Congress. Israel says Netanyahu to address United States Congress on June 13. Punchbowl reports G7 leaders fully endure Biden's Gaza peace plan. Japan PM Kishida will not call snap election before the parliament closes. Shahi reports Trump raised $141 million in May, bolstered by guilty verdict, seeking to spotlight a Republican resistance. Senate Democrats renew push for IVF rights. Now going to science and tech, India's business research organization develops a Pravaha software for aerodynamic design and analysis. ISRO launched a vehicle Mark III LVM-3 carrying a Chandrayaan-3 lift from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota on July 14, 2023. According to the Indian Space Research Organization, initial aerodynamic design studies for launch vehicle demand evolution of a large number of configurations. This software can simulate external and internal flows of launch vehicle, winged and non-winged re-entry vehicles. The Indian Space Research Organization has developed a computational fluid dynamics CFD software named Parallel RANS solver for aerospace vehicle aerodynamic analysis Pravaha. This software was developed by ISRO's Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, VSSC. It can simulate external and internal flows on launch vehicles, winged and non-winged re-entry vehicles. Greenbeard genus could explain how altruism arose in nature. A view of Dictyostelium discoideum, bacteria aggregating under a microscope. Scientists have gained valuable news insights into the natural altruism by studying the amoeba Dictyostelium discoideum. Altruism is widespread in nature where honeybees devote their entire life for caring for their sister, the queen, and her offspring, but do not themselves reproduce in widow spiders. A male allows a female fertilized by him to eat him and thus nourish herself and her offspring. A meerkat, a mongoose found in Africa, assumes the role of sentinel, perching itself on a mound or a rock, keeping a lookout for predators instead of foraging for food while the rest of the clan is feeding. It is a predator in sight. It alerts the others. Indian Council of Medical Research seeks to provide an oral formulation of hydroxyurea to treat sickle cell disease in children. India has highest prevalence of sickle cell disease in South Asia, and over 20 million sickle cell affected individuals reside in the country. The biggest challenge in treatment is that the hydroxyurea, which is marketed as a 500 mg capsules or 200 mg tablets, is not available in the suspension form for effective use in the case of pediatric patients, the ICMR said. The Indian Council of Medical Research has invited expressions of interest (EOI) from the eligible organization for the joint development and the commercialization of the low dose or pediatric oral formulation of hydroxyurea to treat sickle cell disease in India. India has highest prevalence of sickle cell disease in the South Asia, and over 20 million sickle cell affected individuals reside in the country, while the most pharmaceutical companies in India market 500 mg capsules or 200 mg tablets of hydroxyurea. The biggest challenge in the treatment is that it is not available in the suspension form of the effective use in the case of pediatric patients, the ICMR said. Indira Gandhi Zoological Park in the Visakhapatnam attempts in the conservation breeding program. A wild dog with a fresh litter at Indira Gandhi Zoological Park in the Visakhapatnam. Indira Gandhi Zoological Park is making significant strides in conservation breeding of many threatened species like wild dog and striped hyena. The two hyena cubs sleep energetically while they hear footsteps approaching their enclosure at the hospital of Indira Gandhi Zoological Park. The curious eyes meet a familiar face as Dr. C.H.R. Purushottam, the zoo veterinarian, comes on his morning rounds or to check up on them along with the caretaker who brings the first morning meal for the cubs. All of 6 months, the striped hyena cubs are ever curious, fidgety, and hungry as they transition from the early stages of dependency to a more independent and exploratory phase of life. The zoo's veterinary hospital and rescue shelter has been their home for the past 5 months. Here, half a dozen hospital staff attend to their demands as they grow and thrive in nurturing the environment. At last, there is a famous quotation said by Rajaram Mohan Rai, whose birth anniversary is 1772 on 22nd of May up to 27th September 1833, was an Indian reformer who was one of the founders of the Brahmo Samaj in the 1828, the precursor of the Brahmo Samaj, a social religious reform movement in the Indian subcontinent. He was given the title of the Raja by Akbar II, the Mughal emperor. His influence was apparent in the field of politics, public administration, education, and religion. He was known for his efforts to abolish the practice of the sati and child marriage. Rai is considered to be the father of the Indian Renaissance by many historians. Rajaram Mohan Rai says a famous quotation. He says that just consider how terrible the day your death will be. Others will go on speaking and you will not be able to argue back. Okay, thank you.